Imagine growing up in a world where your future is already decided, where society tells you how to behave, what to wear, how to speak, and most importantly, how small your dreams should be. Now imagine two young girls standing in the dusty streets of Tehran, holding on to each other like they're the only safe place in the world. They look at each other and make a promise. We will become lion women, women who are fearless, women who cannot be controlled, women who will never bow down. But here's the truth about life. Not everyone who makes that promise keeps it. This is the story of Ellie and Homa, two best friends who started together but chose completely different paths. And in the end, only one of them truly became a lion. Our story begins with Ellie. Ellie wasn't always struggling. In fact, her early childhood was filled with comfort, a big home, respect in society, and a sense of security. Her father was everything, her protector, her guide, her emotional anchor. But life has a cruel way of testing us. And one day, her father dies. Just like that, everything changes. The house is gone. The lifestyle is gone. The stability is gone. And what remains is silence and survival. Ellie and her mother are forced to move into a poorer neighborhood, a place where life feels heavier, harsher, more real. But the biggest change isn't financial. It's emotional. Her mother becomes bitter, cold, constantly complaining about the life they lost. And Ellie, she becomes quiet, invisible, lonely. It's in this loneliness that she meets someone who will change her life forever. Homa is not like Ellie, not even close. If Ellie is cautious, Homa is fearless. If Ellie is silent, Homa is loud. If Ellie is afraid, Homa challenges the world. Homa grows up in the same tough environment, but instead of being broken by it, she becomes stronger. She questions authority. She speaks her mind. She refuses to accept injustice. And when Ellie meets her, it's like discovering a completely new world. For the first time since her father's death, Ellie feels alive again. They become inseparable. They share food, secrets, dreams, and slowly, their bond becomes deeper than friendship. It becomes identity. Homa introduces Ellie to ideas she has never thought about: freedom, equality, courage. And one day, as they sit together, watching the chaos of life around them, they make a promise to become lion women, not ordinary women, not obedient women, but powerful, fearless women who refuse to be controlled. At that moment, they truly believe it. But childhood promises are easy to make, much harder to live. Time moves forward. Life shifts again. Ellie's mother gets an opportunity, a chance to return to the upper class, and she grabs it immediately because for her, status matters more than anything. So Ellie leaves the neighborhood, leaves the struggle, leaves Homa. At first, it feels temporary, but slowly, distance grows. Ellie enters a world of privilege again, expensive schools, polished manners, wealthy friends, a world where people don't talk about injustice because they don't experience it. And something begins to change inside her, not suddenly, but gradually. She starts adapting, becoming more refined, more careful, more acceptable. Meanwhile, Homa stays behind, still fighting, still questioning, still dreaming of changing the world. And here's where the emotional conflict begins. Ellie doesn't stop loving Homa, but she starts becoming someone who no longer fits in Homa's world. Years later, they meet again, and for a moment, it feels like nothing has changed. The laughter returns, the memories return, the bond feels alive again. But beneath the surface, everything is different. Ellie has become cautious. She wants safety, a stable life, a good marriage, a peaceful future. Homa, she has become even more radical. She joins protests, speaks against injustice, challenges authority openly. She believes in change, real, dangerous change. And slowly, their conversations turn into disagreements. Their laughter turns into tension, because now they're not just friends. They are opposites. Ellie represents comfort. Homa represents courage. And deep inside, Ellie feels something she doesn't want to admit. Envy. She envies Homa's bravery, her purpose, her strength, because Ellie knows she once wanted to be like that, but somewhere along the way, she chose safety instead. And then comes the turning point, the moment that defines the entire story. It doesn't feel big at first, just a conversation, just a piece of information, something small, something careless. But sometimes, the smallest actions create the biggest consequences. Ellie shares something she shouldn't, maybe out of fear, maybe out of pressure, maybe out of weakness, but the result is devastating. Homa is arrested, taken by the authorities, and in that moment, everything breaks, because this is not just a mistake, this is betrayal. Homa pays the price. She is imprisoned, interrogated, broken, physically and emotionally. The system she fought against now crushes her. And yet, even in suffering, she doesn't lose herself. She doesn't become silent. Because that's what makes her a lion woman. Not just her courage in freedom, but her strength in pain. Meanwhile, Ellie is left outside, safe, untouched, but completely destroyed inside. Because now, she has to live with the truth that her actions destroyed the person she loved most. Time moves forward again. But for Ellie, time doesn't heal. It haunts. She builds a life, gets married, moves forward, eventually leaves Iran. But no matter where she goes, she carries the same weight, guilt, a heavy, invisible burden. Because some mistakes cannot be undone, and some apologies come too late. She tries to justify it, tries to forget it, tries to move on. But deep inside, she knows the truth. She didn't become a lion woman. She became someone who chose fear over courage. And what about Homa? She survives. Barely, but she does. And instead of giving up, she continues. She rebuilds her life, raises her daughter, keeps fighting in her own way. Because true strength is not about never falling. It's about rising again and again, no matter how many times life breaks you. Homa loses a lot. Freedom, safety, peace, but she never loses herself. And that's what makes her extraordinary. As the story unfolds, Iran itself changes dramatically. Revolution shakes the country. War brings destruction. And women lose many of their freedoms. The society becomes stricter, more controlled, more dangerous. In this environment, being a lion woman is not just difficult, it's dangerous. And yet, Homa continues to resist, while Ellie watches from afar, safe but powerless. Years later, their paths cross again, older now, wiser, carrying years of pain. And finally, the truth comes out. Ellie confesses everything, her mistake, her guilt, her regret. It's a moment filled with tension, because this is what we've been waiting for. Will Homa forgive her, or will the past destroy them forever? And then, something unexpected happens. Homa forgives her, not dramatically, not emotionally, just quietly, because she understands something deeper. Holding on to anger only continues the pain, and letting go is its own kind of strength. In that moment, we finally understand what it means to be a lion woman. It's not just about fighting. It's about surviving, enduring, forgiving. This story leaves us with a question, a powerful one. In your life, are you Ellie, choosing comfort, safety, silence? Or are you Homa, choosing courage, even when it costs everything? Because the truth is, most people are like Ellie, afraid, conflicted, trying to survive. But the world changes because of people like Homa. This story teaches us, friendship can shape who we become. Courage is rare. But necessary. One small decision can change lives forever. Guilt is a prison of its own. True strength is not just resistance, but forgiveness. So next time life puts you in a difficult situation, ask yourself, will you stay silent or will you become a lion? If you enjoyed this deep story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And